Hey there, Shanel here from the Heart and Soul with your weekly channeled message for June 2nd through the 8th, 2025. This week is my free webinar. So if you haven't joined me yet, sign up. It is got a recording, so please join me. Your frequency of creation, being able to experience that. This is the purest form of yourself. This is the highest vibration. This is you choosing to come here and have a human experience and choosing your life purpose. And I'm going to take you there. So join me. Sign up now. Okay. The energies, interesting. Let's see what my spirit guides have to say. My spirit guides immediately take me into an incredibly bright light and an intense energy. It's almost nauseating how powerful this energy is. They are saying that we stepped into a vortex. This happened a few days ago, although we may not have felt it. The energy of this vortex has been amplifying since the day it started and will peak before the end of the week. This energy This energy is a calibration. This shift in frequency, they always give me this like, you'll never understand it in the way that we explain it kind of feeling to me. And I'm always like, but I get it. I won't understand what they're trying to tell me to share it. But there's this shift in consciousness, this shift that has created a new or different, some weeks it just comes in differently than other weeks, and this is one of those weeks. This shift in consciousness is alleviating a heaviness that we seem to have been carrying around with us. And I know I've felt this over the last few weeks, but there's been this heaviness that we've been carrying. This new frequency that we have stepped into that is elevating this week is here to help us process exactly what it is that we are going through. As the energy goes, one of the things that I do in this work is I have to pay a lot of attention to the energy, and they're having me share this with you to understand your own energy. As we move through energy, sometimes we just have to honor the way that it comes through. This energy came in incredibly intense for me, and then it was almost as if I needed to just pause and be in it. And that's exactly what they're asking us to do. That is what this heaviness is that we've been feeling over the last few weeks. This pause. And yes, I know this vortex didn't open a few weeks ago. It was just a few days ago, but we're still experiencing this pause. It is that we were preparing for it, and we had to be in this calm state, in this heaviness, to be able to have this open and not disrupt everything. Think of it like a lightning bolt. Had it just came in as we were moving through the energies still high frequency, it would have almost like fried our circuits. But by having us in this lowered state, in this calmer state, it allowed it to come in with a gentleness and allow us to gently move into it. Then all of a sudden I could feel that shift of energy. It was like they had said the things they needed to do in that lower vibration, in that calm vibration. And then there was this rush of energy again. We often take note that this is energy or information not flowing. And that's exactly what I did for a second. I'm not going to lie. I was like, am I just being blocked right now? And they're like, no, just be calm, be paused. So we really have to honor the energy. And sometimes that energy is in stillness, which will often trick us into thinking we're disconnected. But if you actually stay with the frequency and the energy, you'll notice that you are just in stillness or a pause, and that it has purpose. There is always purpose in the pause, my friends. I feel like I've become the pause lady in my teaching circle, and I'm okay with that. This pause we've been experiencing has been here for us to acclimate. This new consciousness is about elevating our voice and our energy. As we begin to shift, you will notice that feeling and sensation is becoming more and more important. Not that it hasn't always been there, but it is incredibly heightened. You may notice that you're crying at the drop of a hat, or you're really irritated by things very easily right now, or like an injury is really easily like irritated in this energy that we're experiencing. Or you're really tired. I know I'm feeling that one too. This is about really honoring. So in this pause, we have been taught how to acknowledge the feelings, the emotions, the sensations in our body. We are being asked more and more to disconnect from the mind. Yes, I know our minds are important, but what we define as a mind in the spiritual world is a little bit different than what we're talking about in the academic world. Yes, academics and learning is important, but we don't necessarily do it through the physical mind. Sometimes it's done through all the other senses. This is what they're teaching us again. They're asking us to actually open up to all of our senses, not at the same time, but opening to our senses to allow, as a bird attacked my window, to allow for us to receive in different ways. There are things that we are missing because we are stuck on it being a certain way. It's like in the intuition world, I hear it time and time again with students, well, I'm not seeing anything or I'm not hearing anything. And it's like, well, but maybe that's not how you receive information. Because this tune-up is happening, we are receiving in more ways. Even though maybe once upon a time it was just one way for you, you may be noticing that those other senses are kicking in. This is important to this energy shift and this shift in consciousness that we are experiencing. They're going back to the throat again. Finding our voice, finding our words, standing tall in our own power, which I think is really powerful because June 1st was yesterday and it was the beginning of Pride Month. And I feel like I've seen so many posts yesterday about like, I hope all you homophobes have a very uncomfortable month. And I think that's really powerful. There was a time where I wouldn't have seen that at all. And now it's all over my social media. And I'm so grateful for allyship and seeing so many people standing up for what is right. I will be anybody's stand-in mom anytime when it comes to that world and the inequality that happens there. It is about finding our voice. And I'm not surprised this energetic shift comes with something like Pride Month. I believe also that I saw that it was something about Indigenous this month as well, which coming from Canada is again really important because reclamation is so important. So important. And it is something that we need to take acceptance for what happened and to do what is necessary to make it right. So again, there's all of these things that are coming up for us to use our voice around. The collective energy as a whole is bringing back community, and we are seeing more and more opportunity to do that. This month, it is about speaking up. It is about speaking our truth. It is about honoring ourselves. It is about taking the time to say I love you and thank you to people that mean the world to us and setting boundaries, which are also about love, with those that are needing them. We don't always, again, we give these definitions to things. We have often given boundaries a bad name. And the reality is boundaries are about keeping us safe, but also about loving. I put a fence in my backyard to create a boundary for my dog to be able to run free because I love her and I want her to have freedom, but I also want her to be safe and not end up in the ravine behind my house or in somebody else's yard. It's important for us to understand that a boundary is about creating a space that allows us to love each other at the same time, because loving yourself is important. Which brings me to the third thing they're bringing up today. Sorry, this is a long one today. They are bringing up this whole sacral chakra energization. It's about reclaiming the energy of our sacral chakra. This was a chakra that once upon a time, in the time of theater and art and music exploding, that was so like flowing. But there was a time where it got shut down, where suddenly we were asked to step in line and to be like everybody else and to follow the rules. And suddenly the arts kind of got shut down to a certain extent. And we've moved through this evolution of time, which has brought us back into this heart center, but somewhere along the wild line, there became a lot of disconnection. It's interesting that we have to move to this sacral chakra, and it's almost like we get to skip our solar plexus chakra, which is our will and our authenticity. But what happens is when we tap back into the sacral chakra, which is our passions, our creativity, our sexuality, it is our self-care, it is all the good stuff. It's about expressing ourselves. Don't we like to do that in this world today? And I think it's so beautiful that we get to do that. But there is still this conflict between what does society say is okay and what do I feel? And we get challenged by that. So they're like, start easy. What makes you happy? I love pulling out my paints. I am not an artist, but I love pulling out my paints. I love picking up a ball of wool and crocheting. I love going for a walk and being outside in nature. These are all things that activate my my sacral chakra and activate joy for me. And in that, we elevate our energy and we connect into the heart chakra. We begin to open that center because we are feeling more love and we are feeling more joy. And there's so many of us walking around with heart centers that are so guarded. I know mine was. I'm grateful for my sweet husband who helped me to feel safe enough to open my heart again. We are in this spiritual revolution. And the beautiful part is that this is all about loving ourselves. It is about self-love and self-acceptance and really taking care of us, which then allows us to lead by example and let the light trickle out to others. When we shine our light bright, it allows others to see that it is okay for them to shine their light bright as well. It is a time for us to be unique and to stand in the power of that uniqueness. That was a long one. I'm grateful for all the information, but that was a long one. So, thank you for your patience. This week is really special. Wednesday, June 4th is the Experience Your Frequency of Creation free webinar. It is absolutely free. I am so passionate about this information and this energy that I get to share with you. And I can't express it enough. And there is so much more coming down the pipeline. And it's just like the first step in this really powerful revolution in our own healing process that I am so privileged to and blessed to be able to share with you. So please join me Wednesday, June 4th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can register through my links in bio, my website, show notes, all those things. There is a link there to join me. If you cannot join me live, that's totally okay. There will be a recording and you'll be able to do that recording for 30 days. And like I said, it is just the beginning of something incredible coming down the pipeline. I am so excited for what I have to share. Of course, the regular things are also happening this month. Friday, June 13th is Yoga Nidra at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at Dundas Yoga and Fitness, as well as on Zoom. If you want to join on Zoom, register through my website, otherwise dundasyoga.com. I have 6 spots left for this month's gallery reading. So a mediumship group reading that is in Dundas, Ontario at Dundas Yoga and Fitness at 8:30 p.m. on Friday, June 13th. I am also in Fisherville for Sound and Spirit. I think that's sold out, but if you were looking for a spot, reach out to me and I will check. The last one, of course, is the monthly past life regression. That is the last Wednesday of the month. Also, just in case you're curious, this month I am teaching chakras again in the Divine Map community. This community is a very special place for me. It is where I do mentorship, and every month I do a workshop. This month and last month, I have been teaching about the chakras. So if you are interested in learning more, join the Divine Map community. It is the most incredible space where everyone is so inclusive and so wonderful, and they melt my heart. They are just such an incredible group of people that come together to support each other on this spiritual journey and ask the best questions. I swear, the best. So, that being said, this is really, really long. Thank you. Thank you for being here and being on this spiritual journey with me, and for allowing me to be your spiritual tour guide. From my heart and soul to yours. Until the next time, my friend. Bye now.